Hi, and welcome to Two CPAs and the Mic, the podcast where we talk tax, finance, and all things related to business. Whether you're a business owner, working professional, or someone who wants to start a career in accounting, this is the podcast for you. Hosted by CCK Strategies partners Jeff Frable and Sara Mays, we dive into relevant business and tax matters with working professionals to make these topics less intimidating, relatable, and dare we say fun? Let's get down to business.
Welcome to another episode of Two CPAs and the Mic. I am Jeff Frable with CCK Strategies. We are so glad you are joining us today. We are covering relevant business and tax topics, applying straight talk and practical information without all the jargon and stuffiness that is usually associated with our profession. We try to have fun with the different topics that we cover. And in today's episode, we are talking about, from a CPA accounting perspective, we're talking about the other side of the brain today, where the CPA and the finances may be on the right side. We're going to the left side today. We're going to talk about marketing made simple by Clarence Fisher. You know him as our producer with Tulsa Internet Marketing Services, but he's going to join us today. We're going to talk about the 4 marketing systems that every small business must master to grow. So some interesting topics. My name is Jeff Frable. I'm partner at CCK Strategies and my trusty co-host.
Hey Jeff.
Sara.
How's it going? I'm Sara Mays, and I am also a partner here at CCK Strategies.
Well, Sara, I'm going to admit to you today, just to give everybody a little bit of insight in how the sausage is made, I'm tired this morning.
I'm tired too, but I know why you're tired.
I am tired because I went to see Wicked last night.
I'm so glad you're going to bring this
Yes. We talked last time I had seen Back to the Future, and it was all because we both have season tickets. And but last night was Wicked. This was the 4th time I've seen Wicked. It's me and my wife's favorite Broadway play.
Yes.
And it does not disappoint. But I think I've told you this before. We have some of the best seats in the theater, 10 rows back in the center. But we are literally 2 of the last people that are able to leave the theater. It takes us 15.
In the middle.
Yeah, because everybody else has to go out. So it takes forever. But my favorite story from last night is they were, what's her name? I forget the name of the
Elphaba?
Elphaba.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
She's singing her Not That Girl song. And my wife, she's sitting there and she's tapping her foot to the song.
Aww.
It's not a real up and lively song. It's a sweet song. And I'm tapping my foot, but I'm not tapping against the floor. Well, about 3/4 of the way through, the guy in front of us turns around and looks at us. And I'm like, okay, that was pretty loud. And at intermission, she's like, I guess I was tapping too loud because that guy turned around. I'm like, yeah, you were. She goes, why didn't you let me know? I'm like, yeah, I was trying to be quiet. I don't know, but we had a good time last night. But I am tired this morning.
Yes. Well, just so everybody knows, I'm going to see it on Tuesday.
All right.
And I have to argue with you a little bit. I think we have the best seats in the house.
You do have good seats.
We have a front row mezzanine. So I'm super excited when Defying Gravity, she's going to be right there.
Well, you know what I did last night is when she comes bursting onto the stage, when she comes out the first time, I started clapping. I was like, I'm going to be a theater person. I'm going to be a theater person. I'm going to, when she, defies gravity, I'm going to, clap. But I think it's better. It's still better than the movie. I like the play. I like the OG.
The OG.
I'm good with it.
Because you get the full thing. We don't have to wait a whole year for part 2 to drop.
Sometimes those scenes in the movie just kind of continue on, and you're like, oh, let's get on with this thing. So I got to get to bed is what I got. It's a school night.
You're an old man.
I'm an old man. So anyway, but that energy level is not going to affect us today.
No, it is not. I think we got it. Talking about it. We got our energy levels up.
Well, we've got a very special guest today. Like I said, we're going to be talking about marketing and business. If you are an entrepreneurial business owner, I think you're going to want to listen to some of these tips that we're giving today. But as I mentioned, our guest today is a very special guest, Clarence Fisher. Like I said, with Tulsa Internet Marketing Services, he's one of the brainchildren behind this podcast. He helps us get on the air every week, and we're so thankful for his expertise. But Clarence, I'm going to give you a chance to intro yourself, but I don't want you to get into the deep professional side of you. I want you to express why people should listen to who Clarence Fisher is. Who are you as a person? And I want you to, we always talk about how God connects the dots. I want you to touch on how we are connected, because that's one of my all-time favorite stories, how a multi-level marketing beauty, not franchise, but product can bring us together today in this podcast room. How did that work, Clarence?
That's a crazy story. First of all, thank you for having me. I am very, very honored to be here. And you know this.
Yes, we do.
Let's see, going back, the way that I met Jeff, it's so crazy. Like I got my start in marketing, actually. I was thinking about this in radio, 10 years of my life in radio, and was at a very down time, because if you're in radio and you're any good, you get fired. Well, just because you're good on air and you do some type of something that is
questionable.
That is exactly. And like you get called in by the general manager, and general manager's like, "Hey, man, that was awesome. You're fired."
Dun, dun, dun.
So I think at the time, I was actually waiting tables, trying to figure out what the heck am I going to do. All I know is entertainment. And so I'm waiting tables, and my mother-in-law who called me, and she's like, "You got to do something." There's this marketing company that I'm a part of, and she introduced me to, and I started in that. And anyway, somehow I got introduced to someone else in network marketing that was doing very, very well. And she said, "You've got to save on taxes. You've got to figure out how to have it on your side." And I'm like, "That's what I need." And so she introduced me she told me, "You got to talk to this guy, Jeff." Yes. So, I clocked out of my Delta Cafe. Right. And
just be mindful that when we talked on the phone the first time, he didn't say, "Hey, I got to clock out at Delta Cafe before I come see you."
Exactly. No, of course not. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm like, hey, I've got my business, my company, and I've been referred to you. And so, I put my apron in my back pocket, and I come up, and it wasn't this building. What building?
It was
Skelly.
Yeah, I-44 in Yale.
Yeah. I-44 in Yale. I park in the garage, and I'm still not thinking. I'm the entrepreneur.
You had to change your mindset.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I get through the big doors, and I kind of started and then I get escorted to this room and this table, and then it hit me. You're way over your head. Like, what are you doing here? And then the door opens, and this team of people just walk in. And have you ever seen Coming to America?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So am I King Jaffe Joffer?
Exactly right. It's like all of a sudden my mind
spreading rose petals.
Yes.
Exactly. Now my mind is going crazy. Where have you? And so these people come in, and then Jeff comes in, and this is where I was at. I knew nothing about taxes or CPAs or anything. I had actual physical receipts in a plastic grocery bag that I was going to present to this guy. And I kick it under the seat. And I'm like, the person who referred me is a millionaire. Oh. So Jeff sits down, and I'm like, "Okay, well, hold on. I'm here." Okay. So I talked to him. And after a few minutes, you could tell that it didn't make sense.
I could see the Delta Cafe tag on your shirt still.
You could smell the chicken fried steak, I think is what it was. Fill the room.
Good.
It's like, it's lunch. So he excused everybody else out of the room, and I thought, okay, all right. And he talked to me, just was like, this is how it would make sense. And I have heard you on this podcast say that that's just the way you guys do it. Mm-hmm. Like, this is what would need to happen for it to make sense. And, when I left, he said, the biggest thing that has stuck with me all these years is when you said, "You seem like you're going to make it. And when you do, I'll be here."
Mm-hmm.
And it's that, I'll say when we did the first episode here and I went home, and it just hit me like, you said you were going to be here,
and now you're here
now
for our time. And it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yes. I walked through that park, and I went back to Delta Cafe but my head was up. And now we're here.
Well, it's an amazing story of how people get connected, and you just never know, because that was 20, probably 25 years ago, and we've remained friends, and I've said, if I could have 5 people, if you asked me 5 people you could sit down and have lunch with and you can make their schedules disappear, Clarence would be in that top 5, because he's always an encourager. But since that time, you've grown your business. So tell us a little bit about what you've done since then, because you've worked with hundreds of small business owners, and you're walking them through a growth mindset and helping them now through a marketing process. So tell us a little bit about what you do and what makes what you do special.
Yeah, part of that is, when Jeff and I crossed paths again, I was actually at an architecture firm downtown, and I think they had the whole floor, and we were in a networking event or something. And she said that she was going to introduce to the group a new person, and please welcome him. And Jeff walks in, and I hadn't seen him in years. Mm-hmm. And he kind of was looking at me, and after everybody left, I was like, "You don't remember me, do you?" And he's like, "I don't know." It's like, then I told him the story, and I had written a book. I had written this book, How to Market Your Business Online, and was able to share that with him. And now I'm here where I was studying online marketing before I had published the book. And then, of course, now I'm in the circle. But what we do is helping businesses systematize their marketing so they can have predictable growth and avoid the one-off promotions of, hey, it's Memorial Day, put something together, throw that out there. And we get them to sit back, think about it, build a system so that they can grow predictably every single year.
Well, in some of the things that we've talked about and we've communicated about, you've talked about quote unquote real marketing success.
Yes.
And so how do you, for someone who's listening that's a business owner and struggles with these things, because quite honestly, it's an area that, just like tax and accounting and tax strategy, it's not something that everybody thinks about normally. And it's a real area of expertise, and it's a specialized area of expertise. How do you define real marketing success?
Growth and money. It's more right brain now than it is left.
Because of the analytics and metrics. Yeah.
It's all. When I bring people on who think marketing is like handing out Red Bull or just this creative, and we get behind the scenes, and it's like, okay, no, look at the CTR and the percentage of this and this. It's numbers. Mm-hmm. So what successful marketing is to me is you can put $1 in, and you can get at least $1.10 out. And most business owners will say, no, I want $2. I want $3. But here's the thing. If I can put $1 in and I can get $1.10 predictably, then we have a winning campaign. Really, actually, if I get my money back within 90 days, you have a winning campaign.
And predictably, you mean not only the amount that you could get back, but the amount of time that you're putting into it. Because if I spend a whole week doing something and I only get a 10% return, that may not be worth it to me. But if we are able to systematize something,
yes,
and it draws down your time, it very well may be a good use of your time to do that.
Oh, absolutely. And it compounds. It really compounds, because if you can get someone in your ecosystem, think about how many times someone purchases from you. Like, how many tax returns do they pay for? Like, how long do you have a client? And that's another thing that people don't really pay attention to, is the lifetime value of a customer, of a client, of a patient. It's like if I bring up waiting tables a lot during this, it's because that's where I was honing some of this. But it's like, you come to my restaurant and you sit down, the server that treats you like this is the only time they're going to see you, that's the only time that they see you. But the server that really makes money, and this is something that I learned, was if I treat you like you're going to come see me at least once a month, I make more money that way.
So that happened to us last night. We have a favorite place that we go to for the theater, and we were talking with this lady, and we were talking about something about the last time we were here, because we said something my wife didn't get something. She goes, well, I've been the general manager since January. But I still want to take care of that if it was before my time, blah, blah, blah. And we said, she goes, yeah, I remember you guys. You were sitting over there. And we said, oh, you were the hostess? I said, did you get my shout out on Open Table? She goes, yeah, actually, I'm not. You referred to me as the hostess, but I couldn't remember her name. Mm-hmm. But I'm not really the hostess. And so she kept coming back and talking to us last night. And when we left, I said to my wife, I said, we could become regulars here. And of course, my loving wife's like, she's kind of paid to do that. And I'm like, well, no,
you want your Norm moment.
Well, we talked about that walking in and go, Jeff, Sherry. But yeah, they get paid for it. But the ones that do it well, you don't even realize that. It's just natural for them. Absolutely. So yeah, you're absolutely right. The more you can make someone feel special, the longer they're going to connect with you, and
they'll keep coming back.
They'll keep coming back.
But I would look for a 3 times return on your marketing.
Okay.
I gave you that number just because I'm happy with that number. If we can get people in and get your money back and a little bit extra, now we have them in your system and we can sell them more.
So let's kind of get into some of the nuts and bolts of this thing, Clarence, because we don't want to just spend all this time talking about what you do. We want to know how you do it. Mm-hmm. So you created this system. I guess I would call it the R4 framework. And I think we want to kind of walk through that a little bit at a high level and talk about those things and give some tips. And so let's jump into that. And so ironically enough, the R4 stands for 4 words that start with R, right?
Oh,
wow, that's
cool. He is so intuitive.
Took you 10 years to come up with that one, but no, it's good stuff. And there's truth nuggets in all this. So let's start with the first R. Do you want to start with reputation?
Yeah, reputation. First, I have to give a shout out to the guy who actually originally came up with the R4. His name is Mike Cooch. I stole it.
Okay. You're a good guy.
We're good friends. We are really good friends. He brought it on, taught it to me, and then I put my spin on it, and I've actually taught it with him to other agencies. So shout out to Mike. Okay.
Nice. Good.
But the first R is reputation. Influencing what people see and say about you and your business online. You can do that. Making sure that your Google business profile is up to date, making sure that your that you're getting reviews, you're answering all reviews, the positive ones and the negative ones, and really just getting reviews. A lot of business owners don't want to get reviews because we're going to get a bad one.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to happen.
Right.
So you might as well put a system in place to where you're constantly asking for reviews so that you get more good reviews and bad reviews. And if you're getting more bad reviews than good reviews, that's saying something that you need to change.
So you mentioned the reviews, and this is kind of a question I had for you is, I mean, in this, and I don't want to say in this day and age over and over again, but let's just say it one time, because it's obviously it's changed from when I entered the profession 30 years ago. So, but it's crazy because there's people that sit behind a computer screen and I guess the way I describe it is when I run marathons and Sarah's run marathons, so she understands this. You go back and you look at the reviews of the marathon, or when you're trying to pick a race, you look at the reviews, and you can have one review that says, there was so much water, I could not drink it all. And the next review says there was no water. And so you never know what to believe, but you have these people behind a computer screen putting stuff down. How do you deal with negative reviews like that? Because they just kind of show up and you have or
inconsistent reviews.
Right. How do you deal with that?
One thing, people understand that there are impossible people out there. So when you're looking at reviews, you know what is just, I'm sorry, stupid. Like, come on, are you serious? But you have to be non-defensive and just answer them and smile. I mean, it sucks. Can I use that word?
Yeah, you can.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I got a 1-star review for losing my temper. Someone called me and asked for money from a charity. Mm-hmm. I said, yes. Send me the envelope. They said, we could save a bit of money if we save a stamp if we just come by the come by the office. I'm like, no, just send me we could save a bit. I said, I don't have time for this. 1-star review, guys.
Wow.
Said the owner of this company is rude.
Doesn't love needy children.
Exactly. I'm like, I was trying to give you money. I just needed to get back to my project.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
that's what I realized, you really shouldn't have answered the phone.
Right.
But 1-star review for no reason. Yeah. You just got to deal with it. Say, hey, man, I'm sorry. And I apologize publicly. But when you're responding to reviews, I always say you're not really responding to that person. You're responding for the people that are
Reading the
reading
reviews.
the reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So, and do those, I mean, when I look up reviews of something or somebody or a company, do those reviews kind of like, I guess, call out? I mean, do they drop away after so many other reviews are posted, or are they always there if someone wanted to deep dive into that?
Oh, they're going to always be there,
Okay.
Which is why you have to have a system to get reviews. You should always be asking for reviews.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So when we were working through this outline, you had put in your outline story. Do you have a story about this?
Not really.
Okay. It's just a story.
I was like, a story would go good right now.
I'll come up with one.
I will tell you, though, I did have a client. He's a client now, and he did not want to respond to the bad reviews because he felt like he wanted to tell the whole story of what happened from his point of view. And I'm like, don't do that. No, please don't do that. Just
apologize, right?
Exactly. Just apologize. And so I gave him a template. We have a spreadsheet now of how to respond to reviews, and it's broken down. And here's the first line you do, and you got different options you can pull and put together a review. And it's designed to give to anybody so that they can respond. But he said, okay, I'll do it. And he got a call from someone who said, I'm only using you because of the way that you responded to that one guy that was an impossible customer. And he spent $4,000 with him for an install. He said, I didn't want to tell you this, but it worked. So,
wow.
How do you coach somebody from myself? I will willingly admit that I always want to be right. And I don't want to ever admit that I've done something wrong, or at least not necessarily wrong, but I want to prove the reason why I did what I did. How do you coach a client that you're working with
That is such a natural thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we do. And plus, you are right. I mean, you did everything that you were supposed to do. Really getting them to understand that it's not about that situation, just like we just said.
Yeah.
It's about the other people. And they just want to know that if something goes wrong, that you're going to be there
to take care of it.
Right. But
you're going to admit or not. You're going to recognize that there was an issue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're not going to make it my fault. Right.
Right.
So
right.
That's it. It's just really getting
really good.
The belief that the person who's looking at that is making a decision on, hey, if I do business with them and something goes wrong, it looks like they'll take care of me.
Well, and these reviews that are so public are so different. For example, we just went through a Net Promoter Score process with surveying our clients. And I mean, that's all private. So the private and anonymous and all that. So when we got back less than positive responses or comments, we made a point to contact those clients and talk through things. But this is out there for everyone to see. And I'm kind of like Sarah, I don't have to be right, but to me, it like, you don't like me. And so I guess it's just like everyone struggles with their own journey. Everyone's going to get a bad review of some kind, whether you deserve it or not.
Yes.
And sometimes you do deserve it. Very much so.
Well, I deserve that 1-star review. But I will tell you that to end that story, that sat with me for years, right. That 1-star review, to where I looked that guy up finally. And I saw that that's kind of something he does if people don't give him money. But I reached out to him and he actually said, oh, did I give you a 1-star review? I shouldn't have. He came back and he posted, look, I tried to do a bad thing to Clarence because, this. And he put the whole story there and changed it to a 5-star review.
Nice.
So. Well, and you said that reputation is the marketing engine's foundation.
Yes.
If people don't trust you, they're not going to want to work with you.
And if I get referred to you, the first thing I do now is I go and look at your reviews, your reputation.
Yeah. Okay.
Online.
That's good. That's good for our business owners to know.
Yes.
Whether you, and I would imagine, I was going to ask this later on, but now's a good time. I mean, these marketing truth nuggets that we're dropping, these are applicable for anybody. No matter the industry, no matter if you're making widgets or consulting with people about what to do with widgets.
Yes.
It's all the same.
Yeah. And the last thing on reviews is I'll tell you that you're not supposed to do this, wink, wink, but you can what they call gate the review. So front desks, or you send out a link, they click it, and you ask, how was your experience?
Mm-hmm.
They click 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, anything below 4 stars, a form pops up and it's like, I'm sorry, we didn't get a perfect score from you. Could you tell us what, how we could have? Then they give their name and the reason. And then that goes to someone on the team and it stops that from going, online. If it's 5 stars, we direct you to wherever.
Yeah. The key is that you have to follow up on that in a very timely fashion. Yeah. Or else you get the reviews that say, I've been marking this as 3 and it's not showing up.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
So reputation is extremely important today. Item number 2, we talked about reputation. The second R is reach. And I found this extremely interesting that you want to ensure more people know about you today than they did yesterday.
Absolutely.
So dive into that a little bit.
In a systematic way. Just making sure that more people are aware of you. And the way that you do this is you don't have to be everywhere. That's the biggest myth. We think we have to be everywhere. You have to be on LinkedIn, Facebook, X, PBS. You have to be everywhere. You don't. You just have to be where your people are. Find out where your people are and be there. Like my wife loves Pinterest, and the brands that target her, they're on Pinterest.
Yeah.
They're nowhere else.
Right. Just like we were talking earlier, the baby videos on Facebook.
Yes.
When you start clicking on them, they start popping up more and more and more, and you just can't get away from them. So it's kind of a FOMO, fear of missing out, that could be to your detriment from a marketing perspective, where you feel like you got to be everywhere. So let me pretend I'm your client, Clarence, and I say, this sounds really great. So if I do this, I'm going to see immediate results because I just have to be there, right?
No.
We had the same discussion. We said we put out 1 podcast episode, we're going to be famous, right? No.
Right.
Right.
It's been a constant tempering of Jeff's stardom here. No, it takes time. When you're doing reach campaigns, I always say, you're going to give it 90 days. And we used to hear that on SEO all the time too. Right. It was like, hey, I'm going to be first page like next week if I write this check to you. No, I'm sorry. No, SEO takes 6 months to 9 months, but on a paid like Facebook or Google ads or anything like that, you're looking at a 90-day ramp up period. And once it becomes a system, I will tell you, it gets boring. Like it gets really, really boring. And what I typically hear from clients is, we've been running that ad for a long time. We should change that. I'm like,
it's not working.
I'm like, are you looking at the reports? No, but I feel like we've been running that ad for a long time, and I have to have the conversation of, look, I know you've seen it 1,000 times, but people are still reacting to that. So we need to.
Yeah.
So I do want to put that out there that once it gets going, it will seem boring to you. So this is where you get to the right side of the brain, and you really have to look at the numbers and say, is this generating ROI? And if it is, leave it alone.
So when you consult with your clients, especially early on in the process, you make these kind of things aware to them so they know what to expect. And you probably revisit it
every month.
Yeah, often. Right.
Yeah.
Every month. But you're getting weekly reports. And I will tell you, a lot of people move on. They're like, no, I don't. You're not right for us if we can't have that. And so I've learned over the last 15 years that that's okay.
Well, it's amazing to me that even though we work in different worlds, we have similar outcomes. So like we may bring in a new client and do something that's really kind of simple to us, change a structure or something like that, save them X number of dollars. They're very excited about it. They pay our fee. and we're all good. And then 2 or 3 years down the road, they're like, why am I paying so much for this strategy? And you're like, well, remember, that was like, no,
it's continuous.
It's continuous.
Yes.
And I love your term, they get bored, because sometimes our clients get bored with what we do because they just expect it.
Yeah.
And you're like, you're not going to get that everywhere else, but I'm going to walk you through this. So I appreciate that term, bored.
Okay, I'm going to take us back just a little bit. When you were talking and explaining earlier, you used an acronym that I've never heard before, SEO.
Yeah, search engine optimization.
Okay, what is
it?
That?
It is making sure that your website, it's not even really websites, a page on your website shows up on the search engine the highest possible when someone does a search. So if they search for tax planning, whatever year, if you have a page on your website that is optimized, meaning the words on the page, the pictures on the page are all geared towards answering that question, you have the best shot of being the number 1, 2, or 3 site that shows up.
Nice.
And so it's a whole area.
It's kind of like the yellow pages on steroids.
Yes.
Right. If anyone remembers what the yellow pages are.
Yes.
So many.
But I used to,
so many references
Let it go,
today.
Sarah. Go ahead. Just let it run.
I used to. So we would get those like specific for the town.
Hold on.
Eric.
Sarah is like over there like biting her tongue.
I mean, Jeff.
Okay, go ahead.
And I'm bringing this back around because I would always, I'm not talking about the big fat yellow pages. I'm talking about the one that was like for your South Tulsa.
Yes.
And I would always flip through the yellow pages, especially in CPAs or accountants, to see, because you would, if you wanted to be recognized, you buy the bigger font or the bigger ad or something like that. So you always kind of saw who was, I have a client that's a personal injury attorney. And I would always look to see how big is he on the back page? Is he, but you would, the more you spent for that ad, the more you became noticed. And that's really what we're talking about, is that transformation over time to this, right?
Okay.
And you know what I call that little book when I get them every now and then?
Junk?
Yeah.
Leads. Those are leads
That's
for
good.
me.
Yeah.
That's good.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But now I've been seeing these things that, and maybe it's just because of, the different algorithms that are following me, but is SEO dead? I've been seeing some of these things saying, is SEO dead?
It's not dead, but it's getting there.
Is it?
I mean, what were we gonna?
Oh, I was going to say, well, what if it's dying?
What's killing it?
What's killing it, and then what's going to replace it?
AI.
Oh, okay.
What we are seeing is fewer and fewer people are going to Google to search things. They're going straight to ChatGPT.
Oh, my sister does that. Everything she does is ChatGPT, and I'm like, and it comes up with some good stuff. I mean, we use it. Jeff and I use it for certain things, but
podcast outlines.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Who doesn't? I mean,
right.
Really saves a lot of time.
But I was amazed that that's exact. I mean, for anything, that's where she goes.
Absolutely,
So,
and more people
sense.
are doing that instead of going to Google. And so, behind the scenes, our scramble is, how do we rank higher in AI search engines and ChatGPT in Perplexity? I'll give you guys, ChatGPT now is what we use to outline things and brainstorm. But if we're really going to do a search on anything, especially if like attorneys or probably you guys too, we use Perplexity, perplexity.ai. And so we do the outline in ChatGPT, we research in Perplexity, and then we use Claude to do any writing that is going out, like blog posts or, any type of papers or anything like that. So AI is kind of splitting into, this is best for this is best for that.
Well, I would imagine we could spend a whole episode talking about AI, because it totally blows my mind what it does. And I've seen I've seen and heard, have not done it, where you can take a fairly voluminous document, load it into something, and it comes out as a podcast.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And so it's just crazy, but that's another day and another, as amazing and as interesting it is, but
I will be back for AI.
Yeah. We'll be back. Our number 3, we talked about reputation. We talked about reach. Our number 3 is resell. And it has 2 R's in it, actually. Resell and repeat
or
sales.
Repeat sales. However you put it. Yeah. This is just making sure more people buy from you more often.
Okay.
Notice I got, over the years, I'm like, this is the tagline. but making sure that you are maximizing lifetime customer value. Can't tell you how many times, this has happened to me, is you get a client that says, I didn't know you did that.
We still get that.
Yes.
Right. And you're
Yes.
like, are you serious? You didn't know? Well, it's email newsletters help with that. If you take all of your services and just list them and you say, hey, every month we're going to feature this service, and then you do a write-up on that in your email newsletter and send that out to so that you stay top of mind and you give them opportunities to purchase more from you. You have to stay in front of people because they have this amount of money to spend, and you want them to spend it all with you and not necessarily, you don't want to hear that. I hate hearing that. I didn't know you did that.
You don't feel like you've done the best you could when they say that to you.
Oh yeah. And you've missed that opportunity, right?
Yes.
So now somebody else has the chance of even winning the business that they do have with you.
That's
Yes.
you've opened the door.
Yes.
And but there's another element. There's another side or another element to this R that is where I went when I read it originally, and that is that the way I'll phrase it is you get more excited about the new clients that are coming in than you do about those clients that you have had for a long time.
That is so huge.
Mm-hmm.
That is so huge. We do that and you can spend so much money trying to get new people and not pay attention to the people who are already your biggest supporters, paying your bills. So yeah, be aware of that. But it's natural that we do that. We want new. But yeah, take care of your people. Take care of your tribe.
Well, and it all goes back to the term systemization.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to have a system in place because we get busy. I mean, that's why we have a firm of 100 to 125 people, and everyone has their area of expertise and where they're real proficient. And there's some people that do a really good job with running with an onboarding situation to make people feel more special when they come in. But we also need those people to make our longtime legacy clients feel special and important as well.
right.
So
I love that about what you guys do of getting people in the right seats. And so that's one thing that we're doing right now is hiring and bringing people on that love that.
And we're actually doing that as well. The concept of bringing someone in who is just an onboarding concierge type of professional that takes care of people when they have questions and takes care of them timely. And we're really looking forward to implementing that. But that takes a special kind of person. And most of the time, I think people really appreciate that, where you take the time. I mentioned the NPS score in the comments we got previously. One of the things we told ourselves is that if someone left a less than positive comment, that's actually a good thing because they care.
Mm-hmm.
And if they were really mad and ticked off, they would have left or not even said anything. So you definitely want to take care of those things. So
I'll definitely give you guys kudos for doing that. Most people leave companies because of perceived indifference. Like it doesn't matter. They feel like it doesn't matter if I stay or if I go. And so by doing the NPS score, you're saying, hey, it does matter.
How can we be better?
Yeah.
How can we be better? You have any other stories about resell, Clarence? It's on your outline.
No, I don't even know why. I don't even know why I put that there.
All right. Should we go on R4?
R4.
So we have reputation, we have reach, we have
resales.
Number 4 is the granddaddy of them all, referral.
Referral. Or referral. A refer. Okay. All right.
Referral.
Referrals are like crazy. This is how most businesses grow. Is referrals,
Right.
And it's amazing that we don't have systems for that. I mean, we just kind of leave it up to chance, but most small businesses grow through referrals. And so you just really want to make that a culture and let your clients, your patients, your customers know that you expect a referral from them, basically.
Do you think some of that goes, I'm just going to speak personally. I'm not the kind of guy who, I'll use the term brags on themselves or gives themselves kudos. Do you think that's part of it, is that people just don't like to talk about themselves, or do you just think they're clueless about the power of a referral?
I think a lot of people don't like talking about themselves. A lot of the people who I know who are the best in their field do not like talking about themselves. I think it's not a natural thing, but I don't think we're clueless. I mean, we know that. I mean, you know that most of your business comes from referrals. We just don't take the time to do it. We just feel like if I do a good job,
It'll happen naturally.
Yeah.
You'll tell people about it. And yeah, it will, but not as frequently as we need it to. I know your name just floats around. So you've done enough good work to where people are like
25 years of being around will do that too.
But if I knew Jeff was expecting me to give him a referral every year, then how much more would your book grow? And when I say I knew that you expected, it's not like you're telling me you're going to give me a referral.
Right.
It is showing me that that's the culture that you have, is that I'm going to ask you for a referral once a year, if that's okay. So I just make sure that I do a great job, and I'm going to ask you for a referral. Is that okay? Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, especially when you come at it from our perspective, it's not so we can put more money in our pocket. It's who can we help just the same
Absolutely.
way we helped you.
Yeah.
And, I think personally, I'm always afraid to ask for that referral one-on-one, because I'm like, well, what if they say no? What if I let them down?
Or what are you going to give me?
Yeah.
That's what I...
Okay.
And, good point.
That is a great point.
Uh-huh.
And so to make it easier, number one, for referrals, like for us, if you send us a referral, I'm sending you those brownies that I send out, right?
Right.
And I'm going to reward you for that, whether anything happens with that referral or not. If they call me and they say, hey, Jeff told us to call you, Jeff's getting brownies. So there's that. I know that's not what you were thinking, Sarah, like what's in it for me. But if the referral turns into something, then we actually send steak. It's Ruth's Chris, I think.
Okay. Yeah. So
Okay.
that's Clarence Fisher. Tell him you heard him here on 2 CPAs and the mic.
Right?
So yeah, we actually send the Ruth's Chris out. But also, to make it easier for your people to give you a referral, give them something that they can hand out in your name. And so that could be like for us, it's this training that you can send a link to somebody who, like the Google Business Profile, which I'm going to give out a link later. Our clients can send the people they know a training that's free that says, hey, this might help you, right? And so for you guys, it may be a white paper or something on how the best tax strategies. So your people could forward that to the people they know. It's value that would help them make your client look good because they're helping them. But then it's also sharing your expertise. Give them an easy way to refer you without having to be, an expert or.
And I see referrals as a way to just simply care, because when you make the comment you did, Sarah, I know we're all used to it in a networking situation. Mm-hmm. You kind of get into these situations where the true networkers are like, well, you send me and I'll send you. Mm-hmm. And I don't want that pressure.
Right? Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, look, I'm not a onesie twosie kind of guy. If I send you someone, just make me look like a rock star. And that's inferred. That's the same way back. I'm going to make you look good. I just want to take care of the people that you've entrusted me to, but I'm not expecting anything in return.
Right.
So, but that can be a little tricky depending on who you're networking with. And,
right. Well, we're talking about systems though. Mm-hmm. So you have to make it a system. Everything needs to be a system. When you start working this way, a lot of our consulting, like we do some CMO work as well, those may only last a year because we've put the system together to where you don't really need me anymore.
Right.
Like your marketing people can take care of this now.
Well, and we've kind of done some of that with this podcast. You've been extremely instrumental in helping us get across the goal line, getting us around the mics, editing. But some of that behind the scenes stuff, our teammates have been able to take it right. And it just naturally has become systematized.
And as we move forward, they'll take on more and more and more and more.
Right. All right. So those were the 4 R's. Mm-hmm. Now, what are some common mistakes that you often see in the process?
The one-off campaigns.
One-off meaning I can do this and it'll fix everything?
Well, that and it's 4th of July on Saturday. Let's put something out. And I know it's Thursday.
So again, behind the scenes, we were watching whatever. So this is the week after Memorial Day that we're actually recording this.
Right.
So like last weekend, we're watching TV and all we saw were these ads for Jake's Fire Stand sale of Memorial Day flowers. And I'm like, Jake's is one of these places that is like sells fireworks 365 days a year. And I'm like, what could we sell throughout the year that'll make money? Oh, let's sell fake flowers for Memorial Day. But it was like commercial after commercial. If you needed those flowers to put on a gravesite last weekend, you knew where to go.
Right, right.
It's just a moment in time type of thing.
Yeah. So the one-offs, and another big mistake is not knowing the client lifetime value. I keep saying that. It's because a lot of times you can run campaigns and you think they're failing, but they're really not, because you're not taking into consideration how much they're going to spend with you over time. You really have to know that number. And then the last thing is just the logo on the website's too big. I know it sounds crazy, but everyone's like, could you make our logo bigger?
Okay.
Why?
I promise, Sarah, I see your face.
Yeah.
It's a thing. It's like,
wow.
Look, I will get told this. We put a lot of effort in coming up with that logo. Like, you know what? They don't care.
No.
They really don't. And make sure you have a phone number on the website. These are simple things.
Yeah.
But
it's like not making sure you have no mathematical errors on your tax return or signing your tax return, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. But it's all, at the end of the day, it's all about three little letters. It's all about ROI.
It really is. It really is.
And it's important to track. It's important to prove, just like we prove value through savings and strategy, you prove that value through those types of numbers.
And do not be afraid to have a marketing partner that works that way.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're not ROIing in 30 days and 90 days, I said 30 days.
You're misleading. You're misleading.
Exactly. Yeah. But we need to count.
So you need to spend at least 90 days doing what you're doing.
At least 90 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Clarence, I'm a business owner. I'm listening to this podcast. I find you extremely entertaining and intriguing. What's the first thing that I do as a business owner to get on this R4 path?
I'm going to give you a free resource.
A free resource.
Free resource.
Free.
Yes. Free. Go to tulsaim.net/CCK.
Okay.
And that is going to give you a 5-day, and you can send your marketing person there too, give you a 5-day email crash course on optimizing the Google business profile with everything that we've talked about today. And then plus give you a free local presence audit that you can use. And I will tell you, you won't get a phone call from anybody in my office. Jeff, you know me. I'm very, very, very laid back.
Right.
So I'm just saying you can be safe to go get that. And just, you will get emails every week, but you won't get any pressure.
So what was that link again?
tulsaim.net/CCK.
All right. So any final words that we have to kind of wrap this up? Any final words for business owners that are trying to get to that next marketing level?
Do it.
Do it. Can we trademark that? Just do it.
Take the just out. No, ours is do it.
We have Clarence, his silhouette as
right.
Oh wow, that is a crazy thought right there. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. But get out there and do something. If your heart and your mind are leading you somewhere,
do it.
Go for it. and get some teammates to help you in the process.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Well, Clarence, you're just so amazing. You're just such a good guy, and we love you so much. And so thanks for being on with us today. We do have one special component left, and it's the rapid fire. And I get to do rapid fire today with my buddy Clarence. So are you ready for this, Clarence?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, guys. Jeff has these on questions on the smallest sticky note in the whole entire
I know
universe.
it's not going to be long.
Number one, who do you like better, Jeff or Sarah? No. All right. Question number one, beaches or mountains?
Ooh. Mountains.
Mountains. How do you like your eggs?
Is that enough silence?
That could be it.
He's really contemplating.
I know, because I'm kind of unscrambled right now, but I really like fries.
So it really kind of just depends on the what's the word I'm looking for? Whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What it's going with.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. So it could run a whole
My
spectrum.
wife asks me that all the time, and I'm just like, oh, she's like, are you serious?
Okay, so Brandy, don't. Well, I guess we stumbled into some weird spots
Right,
there.
you opened a wound.
Okay, lunch with one person besides Jesus. Who would it be?
Because Jesus was it.
I know.
Yeah, no, can't be.
Lunch with one person besides Jesus, it has to be P. Diddy. No.
Whoa! And by the time this airs, he knows where he is.
No, I had to throw that bomb in there. Like, it's crazy.
Are y'all listening?
Everybody's like, okay, don't call him. Okay, I have nothing to do with any of that. I just ruined my whole reputation with one.
Oh, no. Perfect.
No, it would be, one person. Oh. It would be my mom.
Your mom.
Nice.
It would be my mom.
Oh, man. Way to take us there. 2 more questions. What's your guilty pleasure on your Spotify playlist?
Spotify.
Or whatever platform you use?
I'm such a nerd. It's audiobooks. I don't.
Yeah, you do a lot of audiobooks,
yeah,
don't you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a nerd. I have
Do you listen to them on like 1.5 or 2 speed?
I do.
Yeah. You can get through them pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question. And I'm teeing this up for you because it's something that I truly respect you for. Give me one family tradition that you've started.
First Sunday. It is first Sunday. Every single, especially if you have older kids, it's just the way to keep them all coming back. Every first Sunday of the month, we have the grown kids, grandkids, my brother, his family, everybody come by the house for dinner. You don't have to cook anything. You don't have to bring anything. Just show up.
Nice.
And it's a way for all the cousins to grow up together.
And you have to be part of the family to show up. I can't just...
Yeah.
Okay.
The dynamic changes. We try that, but the dynamic changes when somebody from...
It's not comfortable.
Exactly.
Yes.
You're like kind of wondering if you can say that or,
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I hear you.
I just, you've told me that story several times. I just think that's the coolest thing that you guys do. So, Clarence, we love you. Thank you for being on with us. Sarah, you want to wrap us up today?
Yes. Well, if you have any questions, comments, or just want to give us some feedback.
Or even a bad review.
Yes, we will welcome the bad reviews. Email us at podcast@cckcpa.com. We want to give a huge shout out to all of our people that just support us along the way. Thank you to CCK Strategies for giving us the platform to do this amazing podcast. Thank you to Christy Porter. She's not here today, but on this recording, but we just want to thank her. She's our in-house producer. I want to thank my husband, Robert, for doing our intro and outro music. I want to thank Natalie Renfro for helping us and Emily Johnson. We're going to throw that shout out in there. She's doing a great job helping us get everything, just the background on the in-house stuff. And then Clarence, we want to thank you always, always, always for helping us in everything we do on all of our audio and stuff like that. Thank you. And so we're going to wrap this up. So join us next time as you listen to these 2 CPAs, and you'll find out who's next on the mic.
The information provided on this podcast is for general informational and educational purposes only and does not constitute accounting, tax, legal, or financial advice. While we strive to provide accurate and up-to-date information, laws and regulations change and individual circumstances vary. Always consult with a qualified CPA or professional advisor before making any financial or business decisions. The views expressed by the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of any organizations they are affiliated with. Listening to this podcast does not create a client-accountant relationship. By listening to this podcast, you acknowledge and agree to those terms. And that's a wrap for this episode of 2 CPAs in the Mic. If you found today's episode helpful, please subscribe, share, and leave us a review. Have questions or ideas for a topic? Reach out. We'd love to hear from you. Email us at podcast@cckcpa.com.